It's all about the breath, really, isn't it? The breath of life. This medium, this force of nature, how it comes and goes. The breath of life, this force of nature. When we look yonder, outward, and we look at nature, we are constantly reminded of the impermanence of this forever changing, this coming and going, this constant change. And without this breath of life, what am I? Where am I? Who am I? And without this body that I possess, what am I? Who am I? Where am I? But now I ask myself, what is the thing that is aware of all these things? What is it? Where is it? Why is it? So, gentlemen and ladies and everyone that has joined in, good day. I am the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai. And we are here now in this Ly Chi Gung online session. I don't like to call it class because there's nothing that I can teach you. From the moment you entered into this universal womb that we call life, whoa, everything that was needed to be done was done. When we look at the bodies that we possess, does the heart not breathe and beat by itself? Does the blood course through your veins and arteries all by itself? There's nothing that I can teach you. But what I can do is guide and remind you the thing that you believe yourself to be, this character that plays man, woman, son, father, mother, daughter. This is something that I can guide, something that I can help to remind to be more harmonic, be more in union with this body of flesh and blood that we possess. Sounds all very serious, doesn't it? But what I'm here to remind you also is that, hey, we're all still children, man. Just playing all these characters, isn't it? From the moment we are born, we are just destined to one day, we need to go. Nothing's for keeps, man. Nothing's for keeps. Might as well be cool, be chill while we're here. And we could make the most of life and, wow, we could start to experience it, isn't it? So thank you for joining me, everyone. And to the viewers at home, to people who are watching now in this recording, I hope you're well. And if you're not well, we're going to get well. So please, everyone, if you can now, have a little smile. Have a little smile. Observe how it makes you feel to smile. So this body that we possess, I sometimes or often say that it's like a book We say that we can't read a book by its cover. But in terms of what I'm able to do, I can watch and look at someone and I can see what's up. Because do we not grin and grimace when we are angry? And when we are in pain, do we not, we show it in the whole being, isn't it? So when we smile at this, we are encouraging ourselves to be in a state of being that is smiling. In the beginning, if you can't smile, at least try to have the intention to smile. Because in a physiological sense, this smile, it represents our diaphragm, it represents our liver, represents our internal organs. So when I smile, I imagine it's like my diaphragm smiling back up at me. And it's weird, isn't it? The moment you smile, it makes you want to uplift. It makes you want to be a bit more proud, but not in an arrogant sense. Just be more present, that, woo, well, I'm here. Wow. So let's take this moment now to start watching the breath. And the reason why we do this is we don't want ourselves to control the breath. So when we say be mindful, we are being mindful not to control the breath. Because believe it or not, most of us, when we're not aware, we tend to hold our breath. This is something the character does when the character or the ego is feeling kind of weak or feeling a bit threatened. It makes the body hold on to the breath. And when the body holds on to the breath, there is no longer a flow. There is a stagnation that takes place. And if we do this often, rivers and lakes become marshes, become places of stagnation. So please, everyone, you can have your eyes closed or open, it doesn't matter. Try not to force your eyes closed. Just look without looking. It's just almost like you're not looking. But please, just take this moment now to become aware of where you are. And in truth, where you are right now is you're inside a body. That's the truth. This body might be sitting down. This body might be stood up. Irregardless of where it is, where you are right now is you're inside a body. Let's acknowledge that. In the next moment, I'm going to ask you to close the door. And when I say close the door, it means to not allow the breath to come or go. And all you're going to do is just observe the body that you possess, how it reacts to you consciously, not allowing it to breathe. Consciously watching how it feels when you're doing this unconsciously. So take your time, everyone, in your own time. Please close the door. Just watch. Just watch. Just watch. It's up to you when you open that door. But I promise you right now, you're just watching the breath because that's all you're thinking about. You can hear my voice. You're aware. But you're thinking to yourself, when am I going to let the door open? That's it, everyone, in your own time. You'll notice all this discomfort, this upheaval within your own being. This is something that is presently there. But by consciously closing the door, we are taking time now just to really observe our body. Really observing this loyal, faithful steed that we use to allow us to experience this wonderful place that we call life. That's it. And I notice some of you now are starting feeling some motion within your being. Allow this to take place. So in your own time again, everyone, when you're ready, just close the door and just watch. Just watch. You're witnessing. Watch how your body reacts to you consciously closing the door. And I promise you, for most of us, it's actually not wanting to stand still. It actually wants to convulse. Whereas when we do not allow the door to open, this thing that is always wanting to come and go freely, it's pounding on the door. It's like open. Let me out. Let me in. Let me out. Let me in. So really watch this upheaval that's happening. Allow it to take place. Allow it to take place. The more we practice this, the more we can allow our body to honestly express itself. And it does this by us allowing the breath to come and go. And then again, in your own time, just close the door and observe. And you will notice now that every time you let that door open, your body is going to, for that brief moment, really express itself. You might notice a quivering, you might notice a release. Yes, this is the body stirring. It's almost like it's been trapped, and the moment you open the gate, it rushes out. We've all seen those images of those cows that have been locked up. And the moment the gate was open, they rush out onto the grass and they roll around and they moo and they dance and sing, jump and have a good time. And this is what your body wants. So when you allow the door to open, really allow your body to express itself. This practice is something you can practice often. It's advisable that you practice it in the morning. And the reason why is in the morning, when you wake up, you have a less psychological influence on your body. And if you practice this daily, it's going to really help you to become more mindful of allowing the breath to come and go. And this is how we're going to try to conduct ourselves today. So in Ly Chi Gung, it's monkey see, monkey do. And remember, just do what you can. There's no need to completely reflect what you see. Just try. The main thing is you have the intention and you just try. Just be honest within your movements. Every now and then I'm going to encourage you. And it's just monkey see, monkey do. Good. Please, everyone, in your own time, eyes open. Right, so let's start by just gently pacing. If you're sat down, you might want to just gently pivot. That's it. There we go. You could just swing around. That's it. Just create some kind of momentum. Just create some kind of momentum. Just be gentle. What we're doing here is we're slowly acknowledging this body that we are in. We're slowly kind of like wearing it on. So a good thing to do also when you wake up in the morning, one of the first things to do is smile if you can. Remind yourself to smile. It's very important. What starts off as a lie can one day become the truth. So even if you can force that smile on your face, you do it often enough, you will start to embody that smile. So when you wake up, your eyes are open, or even before your eyes open, smile. And what you're going to do is you're going to start to wear your body. You wear your body. So right now, as we are moving like this, it's almost like we're wearing our body. Allow your arms to be heavy. Become aware of your spine. Become aware of your hips. Allow your legs to become heavy. Follow your own rhythm. Allow the momentum to develop. Follow your own rhythm. Allow the momentum to develop. Follow your own rhythm. Allow the momentum to develop. Be mindful to allow the breath to come and go. Eventually you will witness the route of least resistance. Follow your own rhythm. Allow the momentum to develop. Let your arms be heavy. Let your legs be heavy. Allow everything to move. So now everyone, in your own time, you're going to take a conscious breath in. Keep up the rhythm that your body is at the moment producing or demonstrating or celebrating. And in your own time, take a natural breath in. Savor the breath. And when the breath goes, allow the movement to help the breath go. If you can, breathe in through your nostrils. If you can, sigh. If it helps, close your eyes. Hi. Hi. So as I allow the breath to go, this momentum, this centripetal force, it will push the air out naturally. You're not going to push it with your guts. You're not going to push it with anything else. You're going to let the movement push the breath out. And if you do this, eventually some of you are going to hear clicks and clacks along the spine. And the moment this movement we're doing here, some of you might feel some clicks and clacks along the thoracic, just where the diaphragm is. Some of you might hear some clicks and clacks along the sacroiliac. This is where the pelvis is. Just in your own time, really savor the breath of it as it comes in. When you've had that feel of the breath coming in, allow this movement to push it out. Use a bit of momentum. And if you can, allow your body to express itself. So check this out. Believe it or not, your body is an instrument. It's a tool. Yes? So with like any instrument and tool, it also makes sound. So as you breathe in, what's going to happen when the breath comes out? It needs to make sound. Some of you will start to notice, if you practice this often, that the sound will also change depending on where you feel tension in your body. But this takes practice. So follow your own natural rhythm. Allow your own momentum to develop. Mm. Mm. Some of you might start burping. Mm. Because whenever we are unconsciously holding the breath, where do you think that air goes? It needs to go somewhere. So when you do this, some of you might find that you need to fart. Some of you might find you need to burp. We're just clearing out stagnation. When we consciously watch the breath like this, as it comes and goes, combined with these movements, this is what we call chi. So energy is when we have a realization of it. When we have the realization of its causal and effect. Monkey see, monkey do. So I'm having a fill of breath, and when I feel that I've had enough breath, I let go. I stop allowing the breath to come in. When I had my fill, my savor of the breath, I let go. Monkey see, monkey do. Have your fill and then open. Follow your own rhythm. Follow your own momentum. Everyone is different. We're the same but different at the same time. Have your fill. Breathe in gently. Savor. And as you make this movement, allow. It's almost like you're guiding the breath out. You're helping the breath out. You're encouraging it to go out. But at the same time, you're allowing stress and strain to go as well. We've all heard the expression of having too much baggage. We've all heard the expression of having a weight on our shoulders. So why not be conscious of letting this shit go? Let it go. What we are doing here is we're cultivating our own willpower. But at the same time, we're creating a relationship with our body. Rider and horse eventually will become one. When we are first born, we are at one with our body. But as the character develops, it becomes too powerful. It starts becoming tyrannous. It starts abusing the body that it possesses. But what we're doing here is we're creating a relationship again. We're learning, truly learning about compassion. Because man, brothers and sisters, compassion and love must start with thyself. And we say self, we mean the body. That's it, well done. See, I love it how everyone's just expressing themselves. That's it. And we're doing these repetitive movements because, eventually you're going to get it. It's going to click. You're going to realize that, wait a minute, I've been holding on there. I've been doing that. I've been whipping the horse too much. I haven't been allowing the horse to drink when it needed to drink. Or, I've been forcing the horse to eat or drink too much. Eventually it's going to click, and then wow, when it does, you're going to show compassion and real love towards thyself. Well done. So notice, you will notice that where your hands are landing, yes, you notice that your whole arm stops wrapping around your body. This here is the beginning of bong. So for those of you who watch my videos, well, most of you do, and most of you have experienced my massage, this is where the bong comes from. You see, it's a full body. When I bong you, I'm bonging with my whole body. And you can only do that if you're relaxed. So you are, in essence, right now, giving yourself an internal self-massage. Take notes of where the arms are swinging. At the moment, if there's no contact, don't worry. Just practice patience. Eventually, the more you practice this, the more you'll notice this bong. This is the sound of one hand clapping. Yes? This is what we mean by the sound of one hand clapping. It's related to the Zen haiku of, is there a sound, does a tree make a sound if there's no one there to hear it fall? It's the exact same thing. It's about being present, being at one. So there is really no two hand clapping. If there's two hand, that means you're being disconnected. Eventually you start noticing that our arms, there might be two, but you can start imagining it's actually one arm. You notice that we have two legs. Eventually you start noticing that it's actually one leg. And then this here starts reminding us about our spine. Our spine is actually one piece. When we become disconnected, the spine becomes fragmented. That's why there's confusion in our movements. But the more we practice, the more we will find the center. The center is where the sound of one hand clapping is realized. The center is also where we will realize what we mean by the present moment. Make the sounds, everyone. It could be a gentle sigh. Really acknowledge the sound that your instrument is making. So for those that you can swing and your arms are touching like this, you'll notice that we're hitting our own kidneys. Yes, kidneys. Back, when it swings back, it's actually hitting our own kidneys, this area here. And when it hits the front, it's hitting liver, spleen, and heart. And this rotation that we're having with the upper torso is helping to give us torsion. For some reason in society, we are designated right-handed or left-handed. It should be whatever is closest. That's what hand you should use. It should not be left-handed or right-handed. It's whatever hand is closest should be used. Likewise, when we look below us now, below the belly button, when we are creating this momentum, we are also allowing our hips to open. You see this? We're allowing hips to open, but at the same time, the other leg is allowing the hip to close. So soften your knees if you can. And then this movement is starting to show us where the center of our being is. Just become aware of the center. Just become aware of the center. the more we become aware of the center of our being, there is no more guesswork. In the center, there's no left or right. In the center, there's no up or down. But in the center, there is a bigger or smaller, a three-dimensional, a multi-dimensional awareness, but one that is harmonic and uniform. And you can acknowledge this within your own being. That place is what we call the dantian. The literal translation means between heaven and earth. And the dantian also means the present moment. Just to be present within your own being. That's it. Allow your body to express itself. Good. So today I'm very, very glad and very, very joyful that Keith is here. He's retired. He's giving the young ones a good example. So, Brother Keith, I'm very excited you're here. If Keith can do this, we can all do this, man. So inspiring. Good. So you notice what we're doing is seems very repetitive, isn't it? Very repetitive. But hey, practice becomes nature. But some of us, we find it very easy just to sit in one place and do the same thing. Like, why can't we just do this as well? But when we're doing this on a conscious level, it really helps just to move around. And it's so beautiful that we're doing it together. And we can really feel each other's energy. We are encouraging each other. It's wonderful. And when we do this, we start realizing that, hey, no one is left behind. We all are walking, or we are all flying together. Yes, like birds that fly together. And I need to emphasize that, because the more you become centered in your own being, the more you realize that we are actually all equal. And also that we are all free to fly together, but we must fly alone. There is no longer villains or heroes, victims. Everyone is equal. Just follow your own natural rhythm. Well done, everyone. Okay. Monkey see, monkey do. Every movement we're doing here is we're always trying to make the sound of one hand clapping. And eventually the center is revealed. If you can't fully extend your leg like this, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with just lifting little like that. That's okay. Now here is okay. And just alternate. You go with your own natural rhythm. I'm just guiding you for these little movements, these possibilities. Just follow your own natural rhythm. Let the momentum develop. If you find that you can't get it the first time, just try again. Just try again. See, we're practicing compassion towards ourselves. Practicing self-love, so important. Monkey see, monkey do. That's it. And when you're confident enough, you can just do this. So what it is here is the leg is swinging. Yes, it's swinging. The leg go back, let it go forwards. Let it go back. Sit. And then alternate. Remember to allow the breath to come and go. Always do that reality check. We've all seen Inception. You need to make sure that you're present. So what you do is you take a conscious breath, watch that breath go in, let it fill. Continue the movement, and then allow this movement to let the breath go. That's a reality check. If there isn't a breath, if you want a reality check, that's the reality check that everyone needs. That's it. Even if it's here, it's okay. That's all right. The main thing is just to be honest with our movements. When we practice qigong like this, there is no competition. The battle is inside. But the more we have trust, the more we watch and allow the breath to come and go, the breath becomes a mediator. It becomes a peacekeeper. And then we can start developing a really honest, compassionate, and loving relationship with our body. And oh my gosh, oh man, I'm so excited for your journey, because eventually what seems like such a long way away, you will start seeing how quickly the body will change. I promise you, from the deepest reaches of my heart, the change will start happening so quick. But for now, don't even look at the destination. Just go within. Find the center of your being. Do these movements. Have faith. And as you do this, you'll start learning what it means to let go. Which you'll often hear me say in my videos. I'm like, oh, let go. I'll be like, take a gentle breath in and let go. So some of you might have heard some clicks and clacks doing this as well. This is also sacral iliac. But we're making adjustments to the sacrum. People who suffer from sciatica and things like this, ooh, this movement is magic. Whereas often people will come to me for help, and usually it's when the alarm bells are ringing. But it is always my goal to help the person to be able to help themselves, for them to maintain their own well-being, to maintain their own wellness, to maintain their own mental health. So my YouTube channel with all these massages and things, you know, they're very good, isn't it? But I really hope that eventually viewers will start to really take a proactive, to be more proactive with helping themselves. Not just watching the massage videos, but watching these videos as well. So that they can start helping themselves. And man, if you guys keep on doing this, eventually you'll be able to do what I do. Because all my massage techniques, all my things that I do, it comes from the practice of qigong. All of it. And there's a lot of traveling involved in my life so far. I've picked up a lot of things from different masters. But the fundamental point, starting point of my abilities comes from our practice of qigong. And in particular, my family tradition, Ly Chi Gung. So each time we are here, I will just do what is necessary. I will look within the crowd. I will see what everyone has similar issues, and I'll do the relative movements or the relative that we all need. Think of them as physical prescriptions. So we're going to have another session again next week. It's weekly. So I encourage you to watch this recording and practice again in your own time. So that next class we can start evolving. We can start moving on in our internal journey. But I don't mind doing the same thing a million times because I am patient and stubborn. If you want help and you need help and you're willing to help yourself, I promise that I will be there every step of the way. But the moment you give up, I'm walking away. Remember, I'm always letting go of baggage. There is no guilt when I walk away from someone who no longer wants to help himself. Well done. That's it. Lovely. I like Ezzy's proper smiling. He doesn't need no encouragement, man. So I remind you guys, often smile. Whenever you feel or notice that you're having struggle, have a smile and allow the movement that you are doing to reflect that smile. If you are doing a movement and you can't smile, it means that, your body's not ready to do it. So do such a movement where you can do it. You see what I'm doing here? There's nothing wrong with this. Yeah? There's nothing wrong with this. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Nothing wrong. Just being very honest. You know, when we're younger, they say, honesty is the best policy. You know, I believe that, but really you should always be honest with yourself first and foremost. If you can be honest with yourself, then man, being honest with other people is second nature. It becomes nature. Things become so much less complicated. Because there was a time in my life where I was just living a life of lies, bare lies. I've come a long way from that time. And now, I'm like an open book. What you see is what you get, man. Nothing wrong with this. See, I can imagine some of you, or everyone's sweating now. And all we're doing is this movement here. And it's such a beautiful movement because you're allowing your spine to rotate. Remember to soften your knees a bit, okay? So let's talk about the limbs for a second here. The arms, like I said, eventually they will become one arm, one long arm. You see, one long arm. That's the hand, one hand clapping. And eventually the legs, they become one leg. You see? But in order to do that, you must really imagine that the legs and the arms are very heavy. It's almost like you forget about them. It's almost like they're just attached to something. And as you rotate, your spine from the center. In the beginning, you might not know where the center is, but if you keep doing this, eventually it will appear. But if you can just rotate the spine from the dantian, eventually the arms and the legs will start to connect. You see, eventually they will start to connect. You see, they eventually connect. Yeah, they eventually connect. But we must start very gently in the beginning. That's it, well done. Okay, everyone, monkey see, monkey do. Monkey see, monkey do. You see this movement here? This is something that we don't often do. Because for some reason in society, in films, everyone walks around like this. Like they're a statue or something. But we often do not have this bounce. This bounce is very important. Yeah, have the bounce. Yes. Innit? The man, then we call it the swagger. You get me? But yeah, you just have this bounce. You're walking like everything's airy, like everything's fine. Like you're bopping, that's what we call it as well. You're just bopping. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's no bravado here. There's no arrogance. Yeah, there's no forcery. It's almost like you're walking in such a way where you're celebrating your existence. You're like just, you know, is this a, and this is a beautiful way to conduct oneself. But what this is doing in a physiological sense is that now you're practicing to allow every joint, every space within your bones to have this little bounce as well. And the more often you do this, the center will also be revealed. Yes? So this is a linear movement of up and down, up and down. Eventually the center will reveal itself as well like this. So a little bounce, yeah. So what really helps with this as well is when we get ill, when we get flu and stuff like this, the very first place that we'll feel it is actually the lower lumbar. The very first place we feel any illness, most illnesses, is actually down there towards the sacroiliac. So far we've done the torsioning. When we include this bounce now, it's almost like we're shaking the illness away. That's it, Keith, just have a little bounce. It's gentle. You just sway it out. Yeah, he's starting to feel the pain. But what it is, you know, when we're on this journey, especially if we haven't been aware of our bodies like this, we're going to lift up the rug, isn't it? Now, I say this often during therapy. You're going to come and you're going to start experiencing some kind of tension and pain. Hey, it's better to know it where it is than hide it, isn't it? So when we're practicing like this consciously, we're lifting up the rug. It's almost like we're giving ourselves a clear out. We're clearing away the cobwebs. And with the breath, we're allowing stagnation to expel, to release. With the bodies, with the joints, with the muscles, all that stuff there, that's like dust. You need to shake it off. That's it. Allow your shoulders to feel heavy. Allow your legs to feel heavy. Create your own rhythm. Allow the momentum to develop. And the more you do this, eventually, after a while, you ain't going to want to shake anymore, because when you find the center, everything becomes very still. It's almost like there's nothing left to shake. But for the time being, it's good to move. So if we find that we've been sitting down for a long time, or we've been stood up for a long time, hey man, just move. The remedy is very simple. Just move, have a giggle, have a smile. Literally. So there was a time when I was sectioned. So in the UK, when we say section, we mean that when we put someone inside a psychiatric ward. And I was in there for like, what, nearly a year. And I needed it at the time. I had mental health problems. But towards the end of it, I was pacing up and down like a tiger, like, you know. Like, in the beginning, when I first went into the hospital, I was like comatose, you know. I didn't look anyone in the eyes. I was very ill. I wasn't very talkative at all. But towards the end of my time there, I started pacing. I remember just pacing the perimeter of the ward, you know, like a tiger. And to the psychiatrists and the people there, it was a sign. They knew that I was ready to leave. Yes, it makes perfect sense, isn't it? So even with the body, like, you know, if we sit down or we stand still all the time, it's almost like we're encaging our body. We're imprisoning ourselves. We're like castrating ourselves. So the remedy of that is just to move around, man. Jeez whiz. It might seem like a life away, but man, how wonderful would it be for us to each day wake up and, wow, it's an adventure. Because from what I said in the beginning, hey man, none of this is for keeps, man. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter about mistakes. Mistakes are wonderful. So when you move and you're doing this movement, don't worry if you're doing it wrong. The main thing is you're moving. And then after a while, it's gonna click, something's gonna happen, and you're like, oh my days, like, whoa, I get it. Okay, let's get this involved. Yeah, continue the bouncing, yeah, if you can, continue the bouncing. Continue the bouncing. Allow your arms to feel heavy. Allow your legs to feel heavy, and just have this little bounce. Listen how fast I can bounce. Yeah, after a while you can. But yeah, you can, in the beginning, just be gentle, you know, gentle. Some of you might feel needing to bounce a bit quicker. Some of you might feel want to bounce a bit slower. That's nothing wrong. That's you being very honest with your body. You know, you're creating a relationship with it. But Brother Sergi's proper dancing there, you know. I've left the music out of the class because, you know, I don't want to get copyright infringement. Real talk. That's it. Yeah, allow the shoulders to be heavy. That's it. Well done. That's it. And then now, if you can some of you just, can we shake the center? Can you find the center? Can you shake your hips? That's it. Just gently, yeah? Just do it. Just try to shake the center. Look, shake the center. And this movement that we're doing here, believe it or not, this is the mechanic of walking. This really is how we should be walking. It looks weird, but it's very natural. Because most of us walk like this, very disconnected, like very linear. But if you walk from the center of your mass, this is how we walk. This is how the apes walk, you know. If you watch very carefully, they walk like this. The primates, very natural the way they walk. And in a martial arts stance as well, this is very powerful, this kind of walk. You've got low center of gravity. It's like you're just ready, you know. But not like in a paranoid way. Yeah, so if you can, just just move your hips. You slightly bend your knees. Yeah, just slightly bend your knees. Allow the arms to be heavy. That's it, well done. There we go. So shake. You notice sometimes when I'm massaging on the streets and I feel tired, I'll be stood here, I'll be doing something. You'll notice me doing something like that, and I'll go. I'll literally just, I'll wring out my spine, and so I'll release tension really quickly. So in martial arts, when someone's holding you like this as well, you can't go down here and you do this quick explosive, like a explosive. Ah, nice yawning. So yeah, yawning's good. That's it. Oh, oh, well done. Your Ottokar's got it. He just allows everything just to do what it needs to do. Yeah, so you're gonna slightly bend your knees and just. It's almost like you don't care. And you're like, just, Whereas right now, all these movements we're doing, it looks very comical, isn't it? But the main thing is to allow your body to express itself honestly. There's no egos here. Leave everything on the floor. Because the more you allow your body to express itself, eventually a natural movement starts happening. Yeah, things become much more natural. Right, so we're coming towards the end. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to allow everyone to maybe speak, maybe have any questions, anything that you might have any questions regarding what we've done so far. So if you want to speak, everyone, like you unmute yourself, yes? Put up your hand, yeah, and I'll say someone's name. You unmute yourself, and then you talk. And when you're done, mute yourself, yeah? Is that okay? Everyone, is that okay? This is really beneficial for ourselves, but also for people watching, so they get insight of how things are. So who would like to ask any questions or would want to speak? Anyone? Yep, so Michael wants to chat.
Hey, experience that I had today. One of the experiences was that back of my hands clapping felt really painful at the beginning. So I'm not sure like if that's what to do with this, or I was just like easing out a little bit, but like then I was kind of adjusting the movement so that my hands are not painful. So what do you think of that?
Yeah, so when the hands become painful, it means that there is a disconnection at the wrists. But this disconnection here will start up at the shoulder. Yeah, so anything you have any problem along your limbs, anything wrong with your limbs, it's going to be all to do with like the connection point of the spine. So in order to do this, Michael, what you do is when you swing, don't swing, don't have too much. Because in a moment we're breathing in, isn't it? And then we're letting go. The metaphor is this: when you breathe in, you should be the same amount you breathe out. So likewise, when you do movement here, one side might be here, innit? But then when you whip around the other side, so there's more on one side than the other side. What you need to you try to do is be more honest. If this side only comes here, then allow the other side to come here as well. You see, that's what I mean by that's what I mean by it's one arm. I'll keep mentioning it as one arm. Yeah, so for me to clap one hand all the time, it has to be even. But if I'm swinging like this and I go all the way around this side here, but then this one can only come back here, it's not real. You understand? So just gently, so what I mean, so when we swing as well, there's nothing wrong with being down here. You know what I mean? Eventually, when you want to swing above here, you'll notice that to swing more wider, you see, that's how you swing wider. For me to get this movement here, you see, watch this leg. What is reflected above must also reflect below. So like I said, the spine is one piece as well. When you're swinging up here really widely, but down here is not wide, there is going to be some pulling. So what is reflected up here must also reflect down here. So this is how I get wide. You see? But if I can't do that, I become more honest with my movements and then I swing here. You see, this is where Wing Chun comes from. When your mans do Wing Chun, it comes from here. When you do when they do big like here, it comes from down here. But us guys, we practice down here. So that when I come up here, I could do here as well. See, this movement I'm doing here is exactly the same as this. You see any difference, guys? There's no difference. See, there's no difference. Does that answer your question, Michael? Yeah, so just practice more honesty. So smile when you do it. And I promise you, the more you do that, the shoulder will start to even itself out. Because at the moment, you have the ability to swing forward more than swing back. That makes sense, doesn't it? Right, anyone else got a question?
So my question is, for what kind of sensation should we be looking for when we are doing the kicks? When we are kicking one leg against the legs, what is the sensation in this movement that we should be looking for?
Yeah, so what is the sensation should we be looking for while we're doing this movement? That question there you ask, it should be the question asked for every movement, not just this movement, yeah? Does it make sense? It's about how we conduct ourselves, first and foremost, isn't it? So when you ask this question here, you should answer every question, like how should I feel when I do this? How should I feel, yeah? What it is very similar to what I said with Michael, with the first movement. When I'm doing this, if I could come high here, yeah, if I could come high here, but I can't come high behind here, this is not honest. If I could swing here, but only can come here, you see there's a problem here. It's not even. Here is good, but here is, not good. If you come back here, and then, if you come back here, and then here, then that's more even, isn't it? Does it make sense? So likewise also, as we're getting our two arms involved, when I'm doing this, I'm being very honest. So when I saw Oscar, when you was doing this movement here, I could see that you come here very high. But then you can't, you see? There we go. So if you want to practice this more, if you want to be more even, yeah, that is, yeah. You will notice that my movements that I've been showing you is, I'm trying to find an average of what everyone's abilities are. Does it make sense? But the fundamental movement I'm doing, you can use your own momentum and your own rhythm. I keep on saying it, use your own momentum, your own rhythm. So if you're able to go high, practice go high in the back as well. And yeah, that's it, Otkar. You notice that if you can't go high here, it means that your body wants to jump. Yeah, the more you practice this, it will get evened out. So likewise with some of us, we can't lift our thing up here, there's nothing wrong with here. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. That makes sense, Keith, innit? There's nothing wrong with that. Innit, Eric? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. This is beautiful as well. Cha-cha-cha. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. But then the more you do it, remember, just repeat. Practice becomes nature. And eventually it becomes... Because what it is all of us, this is what I personally believe, all of us want to fly. The body, you understand what I'm saying? When we're first born, we're little babes, we're rolling on the floor. You know, everything happens by itself. We learn to crawl and all this stuff before the mind gets involved in it. But for some reason, our egos, we kind of like self-sabotage and push ourselves down. But our body and our being, our soul, it wants to ascend, it wants to fly, it wants to dance. You'll notice it in athletes. You notice it in people who are just want to jump off mountains all the time. You understand what I mean? It's a different lifestyle, it is. But for me, it's better than just, being like stuck at home and being bored. That's being honest, isn't it? I've tried that life. So you just be very, very honest within your movements. Start very small, very, very small. So Otka, does that answer your question, bro? Does that answer the question, everyone?
I think what helps the best as an answer is like to look for the sensation in the front and in the back, to kind of balance.
Yeah. When you say sensation, it should be full body.
Yeah.
The more you do something, the more you repeat it, like I say, you will find the center.
Okay.
From the center, there's no up or down. From the center, there's no left or right. From the center, there's no sensation. From the center, it's all feel. It's all do, all do, all do, all do. Character has will, isn't it? Character has it has dreams and aspiration. That's the ego. But character must be harmonic with body for body to have things done. Thy will be done, thy kingdom come. That's why I personally believe it comes from, when you have this holy trinity of mind, body, and spirit. Does that answer the question? Yeah? Does that answer the question, Eze? Does that answer the question, Eric? Yeah, everyone? Good, yeah, thumbs up. Right, is there anyone else who want to ask a question? Everyone's fine? Awesome. Marcus there. So you see, guys, how fast 1 hour goes. It goes very quickly. So what I'm encouraging for you and also for the viewers at home, please watch this video and practice it. Even if it's for like just 10 minutes of it. Was really, we just did 2 movements today. You guys think about it, innit? We did this torsioning and we did the up and down. That's all we did really today. And you notice, do you guys notice a little change within your own being? Yeah, it was so small, you know, very small. But I encourage you guys into the next class to practice. Because if you could do that, whoa, man, the amount of things that I can show you, geez, we're just, right now, we're just learning to let go of the shit. I say that in therapy often, like during therapy, all I'm helping you to do or guide you to do is to let go of baggage, let go, let go. The more you can let go, the more we can start climbing higher and faster, and eventually we can start jumping around. I'm kind of like, I'll be honest with my own practices, I'm kind of stuck where you guys are. That makes sense. As an urban jungle dweller, I don't have like access to like a sea and all that stuff. I'm just being honest, isn't it? Because I'm always, I'm helping people at certain levels. I want to remain this kind of like not too far out, if that makes sense. Because I noticed that some classes, the teacher moves too quickly. You know, they're expecting everyone needs to do something. But I'm always aware that we're all going in different stages. And me, for one, I don't mind waiting back. I want all of us to travel together. Does that make sense what I'm saying, Eric? Do you know what I mean? If you don't give up on yourself, oh my gosh, I'm here for you, man. But the moment you give up, hey, I have no guilt in walking away. I'm letting you know that right now. There's no bullshit here. Life is too short, like I said. We all know this, man. Life's too short. You either do it now or just like... It's the truth, isn't it? I'm speaking from the heart here, man. Fuck. But you guys, thank you so much, yeah? Everyone here, I want to massive shout outs to Otika, to Eric from United States, Michael Augustini. We got Eze, we got brother Sergi, and Keith. You was like the guest of honor for me today, man. So guys, Keith is like retired, and look, he's here. If he's here, you could be here as well. So if you guys want to join into the next class, please send me an email, send me a message maybe, but email would be probably better. I'll leave like the link down here somewhere. But I'll see you guys next week, and to everyone else, I'll see you next time. Thank you, everyone. Om niet de vorm. Bless, man. Have a good day, everyone. Have a really good day. Thank you, brother Sergi. Lots of love. Eze is always smiling.
Lot of love. Thank you for the lessons today, Kai.
Oh, brother. It's, you know, it's always an honor for you to be here, you know. Always.
Same.
Okay. Much love, bro. Okay, bye-bye, Eze. I need to say goodbye to the viewers, innit?
All right, see you later, Taj.
Yeah, bless. Well, did you want to talk?
No. I was just obviously I have a day off in it, so I was able to join. But
how did you feel?
Like, yeah, I felt good. Obviously Michael mentioned something about his hand hurting him when he was in the torsion thingy.
Yep.
Obviously, I felt the same thing in my right shoulder.
Yep.
Obviously, you'd probably be familiar with that issue, but
yep.
But I guess the answer was pretty much the same about being
same,
honest,
yeah.
Being honest with each side, sort of thingy.
Yeah. What you do is you move with whatever side's the weaker one.
Yeah.
It's the image is like you don't want to leave anyone behind.
Mm.
So you always go with the weakest. If that makes sense. I don't leave anyone behind. So whichever side's weaker, you work with that one more, and you work with that one, and eventually that one starts improving. And the one that's good, it's always going to be good.
Yeah.
Does it make sense?
Yeah, so it's like your slow is your weakest link.
Yeah, go with the side that's weaker. And that's how you, I was mentioning often, this is how you practice self-compassion, man.
Yeah,
People throw that word compassion off so often, they don't realize what it really means. It must start from yourself. And that's how you develop a relationship with yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's very easy to swing this way. Like, you get excited, like, yeah, I could do this. But then all of a sudden it pulls and you think, wow, why did it pull? It's because you got overzealous, man. You're not practicing compassion. This is passion now. When you're too passionate. That makes sense, doesn't it?
It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Definitely got a lot to practice.
But it's good to see you, bro, man. It's really good.
Yeah, appreciate your time, anyways.
Well, okay, bro. I'll see you next week, yeah?
Yeah. All right. Take care, yeah?
Yeah, take care, bro. So, guys, ladies and gentlemen, everyone who is watching the video now, that was a recording, or this is a recording, and I really hope it's inspired you. Inspiration is very important, isn't it? I hope it evokes some kind of spark within your own being, so that the phoenix can rise. So, if you can, follow along with these videos that I'm uploading for you, and if you want to, hey. I'll leave a link below, make a donation, pay it forward, because I'm doing all these classes for free and you can help a brother out. And also, if you want to join in with the next class or in a future class, email me. And together we could do whatever we will to do. Until the next time, I am the avatar known as Tao Chi Kai. Om Ni De Fu Om.
Wow.